You're right, guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm just having a ride over to my uncle's this afternoon to sort a fault out with my brake light. It keeps flickering on and off, so could be a loose connection or something. So I'm going to go and try and fix that. So I'm going back to the Isle of Man this year. So we're going for 3 nights, staying in a B&B in September. I'm looking forward to it. This will be the second time. So last time we had a mixture, good weather and bad weather. So typically the bad weather when we went to do a lap of the circuit, the TT. And hopefully this time I'll get a bit of dry weather so I can enjoy it a bit more. So another thing I wanted to ask anybody that's watching this channel, so I keep debating over my YouTube channel name, Lee's Life UK. I don't know whether that stands out enough. Don't know whether it's easy for people to find. I've been watching other people's YouTube channels, and you know, it seems it's not easy to find something unique that stands out that relates to the content you're making. So a little challenge for my viewers is if you, well, first of all, share your, share what you think, whether you think the name that I'm using is good enough, or whether you kind of agree with me that it doesn't necessarily stand out, and coming up with something a bit more unique would be better for the channel overall. So yeah, if you've got any names, any suggestions that you think would be fitting, apart from dickhead and things like that, then obviously much appreciated. So yeah, the weather's looking a little bit iffy at the moment. I did look at the weather forecast earlier, and it was showing that was a 20% chance of rain this afternoon. So I think a lot of people was like, yeah, it's not going to rain. But looking at the sky at the moment, it's definitely one of the cooler days so far. I thought that was bike riding Adam then, but I don't think it was. It's the same bike, Royal Enfield. Obviously, bike riding Adam, if any of you know of him, he seems to frequent a lot of the areas that I tend to go around, and I don't think I've seen him once yet, typically. So it's funny, really. You see other people doing the bike channels and stuff like that, and especially the ones that are kind of in your area, and you start paying more attention to other bikers then. So I think there's a lady, username Kate. She's her channel's doing really well. If I could get half of what she's done, I'll be doing well. But yeah, so you got username Kate, bike riding Adam. They're two of the more prominent people that seem to always around Manchester, Bury, Bolton. But as I say, I don't think I've seen any of them yet on the road. Having said that, I work a lot, so I don't get out on the bike as much as I'd perhaps like to. Whereas they seem to be out on bikes all the time. I think you know, the more I get out, obviously the more likely I am to run into them at some point. Went to the new Bolton motorcycles a few days ago. I don't know if you've been to the older one, but this one it seems to be a lot bigger, a lot more bikes in there, second-hand new bikes, and it's near where the old Toys R Us used to be, just off the A666 in Bolton. So if any of you, I think, want a new bike or whatever, go and have a look. So I'm just trying to figure out the best way of growing the channel at the moment, because one thing that seems to help is having a bit of a personality, but it's not always that easy to it's not always that easy to do stuff like that if you're not a natural. So I'm giving it a shot. It'll be what it will be. Obviously my channel at the moment is more aimed around bike trips and camping, but you know, I'm trying to look at other options to see what other bikers seem to like to want to see, if you know what I mean. So yeah, if you've got any ideas, I'm open to suggestions. If there's anything people would specifically like to see, that would be you know, let me know. So I've had the Triumph, well, I don't know, say a month or two now, and I'm still liking it. I bought one of the breathable seat covers for it a few weeks ago. I've put it on. You've probably seen some in some of my videos, but I don't know why when they make these seat covers, I don't know why they make them so, why they don't make them so that they can fit easily. They barely fit, and you've got to struggle, and it's a bit of a pain to get them on. I mean, I've got it on, but it's not quite covering all the seat, and also where my seat catches on the tank at the front, that's not catching either with this seat cover on. So got to try and figure out a way to fix that problem. But apart from that, the seat cover, it's doing its job. Obviously, and it wasn't cheap either. Some of you might notice on my screen, I did have an extra little Amazon special screen that was on top of it when I first got the bike. But I went out to Rivington Barn the other week, and the sun was just shining straight through it. It was just straight in my eyes. I couldn't see, it was blinding me. So first thing I did the other day before I washed it was take the screen off. So, and straight away this makes a big difference. And I've put my Delkovich exhaust back on. I keep umming and ahhing with the exhaust, and do I prefer the louder sound or the quieter sound, but when I had the quiet exhaust on the standard, I wanted a louder exhaust, and then when I put the Delkovich on, I thought, oh, I don't know, it's a bit too noisy, but I've actually gone back to it again. Obviously down to personal taste, isn't it? Whether you like a louder exhaust or not, doesn't really make much difference. But I think for bikers, part of it is the sound of your bike, isn't it? You know, you got a nice sounding bike. It's part of it, as well as the riding. All these little quirks you have. And I noticed it's just been starting to spit a little bit, so the weather forecast was right for once, or it seems to be. So I was watching username Kate's videos, and she went doing some reviews on some of the new Hondas, and some of the new Hondas look good. They brought I think it's a Honda GT1000 or something. That looks pretty good, with the boxes on it as standard. I'm sure it's a GT1000. I'll have to, you know, forgive me if I'm wrong, but whatever it is, it looked the part anyway. But yeah, it's getting a bit dark and gloomy out here. There we go. This is one thing that is really bugging me, is the roadworks everywhere you go. You know, yeah, I understand the roads are terrible and they do need sorting out, but for some reason they always seem to do everything at once. So you get a whole area and there's roadworks every single road you turn down. And then because of it, the traffic's a nightmare, because whichever route you take, you're stuck at the traffic lights. You know, why wouldn't they do it and try and ease congestion at the same time? You know, they'll be back again a few months after, because the same issue will be back again, potholes. So yeah, I was watching another lad on YouTube, Mashag Brady. Now, ordinarily, it's not the kind of channel I'd watch, but I noticed he's recently passed his bike test, and he went over to the Isle of Man for the TT. So I watched his videos, and they were actually quite good. They give you a bit more, if you've never been over there for the TT, they give you a bit more of an insight. So they're quite long as well, you know, so you get to see quite a bit more than you usually get to see on some of these videos on YouTube. It's quite good. Obviously, yeah, and I think he had nice weather as well. So he was lucky. So yeah, that's like I say, I don't normally watch him, but I thought I'd watch that, and I enjoyed it. So don't know whether he's going to start adding a few more bike content videos in, but you know, maybe if he did, he'd be catering to a bit of a larger audience, because he's got a huge following. So, you know, for me, if I could make a living doing this, or doing stuff like this, it'd be fantastic. But I've got a long way to go yet. Well, having said that, so I've probably been going properly now about 4 weeks or so, I think, with the channel. I got 35 subscribers, so thank you for everybody who's following me so far. You know, I just need to try and get more people following me now. The more followers, the more views. So I hoping as time goes on the videos will get better and better. You know, I'm still very new to it. Everybody's got to start somewhere. So hopefully for those of you that follow me from basically the beginning, we'll see that growth over time. Yeah, supposed to be doing work on my bike. Look at the clouds. Typical. It's been cracking the flags all week, and it's supposed to be cracking the flags for the rest of the week. My one day off work, get on the bike, and look, fantastic. Anyway, on that note, guys, I'm going to leave you. Thanks for watching, and I'll speak to you again.